why does my husband have to watch medieval shows right next door? Like, hello, my gorgeous ones. Welcome to Alicia Budget Beauty. My name is Alicia. Here on my channel, I love affordable fashion and beauty. I do hauls, tutorials, reviews, all sorts of fun stuff. So if that sounds good to you, please subscribe, stick around, be a friend. I feel a little bit awkward today because it's been so long since I filmed in this room. This is the beauty room slash guest room, and I tried my hand at filming in here for a while and I just really get frustrated with the lighting. I prefer my normal setting that most of you guys have seen. That is the front formal dining room with big windows, so it has all natural lighting coming in. I don't have to use any kind of like vanity lights, so I don't prefer it in here. Kids are just being crazy today. The husband's home, he's watching stuff, so I was forced to come back in here today. But I'm really excited to film this one for you guys. I saw Kelly Strack had filmed makeup, drugstore makeup that she recommends for beginners to start, like your little makeup bag, one of each category. And I bent a little bit and did a couple in a few, like foundation and primer and setting spray, because of different skin types out there. But for the most part, there's just one in each category. So I've got my little makeup bag here. And if you want to see some of the best drugstore makeup, I think, out there, really as good as high-end, how to build your own makeup bag if you maybe aren't quite familiar. And then if you are, if you just want to see what my recommendations would be, keep on watching. All right, so I'm going to start real quick with an SPF that I recommend that is drugstore. This is the e.l.f. Whoa Glow Sun Touchable SPF 30. I really like this. This actually has a bit of a tint to it. I don't want to waste too much because it's a little bottle, but here it is right here. So as you can see, this isn't just like a white sunscreen. This is kind of like a cream color. It does leave a bit of a glow, but it also just kind of gives a slight bit of coverage as well. Nothing that would be like what I would just go out in the day with, just me personally. Some people may not really want makeup and just want a good drugstore SPF that would give them just a teeny little tiny hint that would cover like some redness. And if so, I highly recommend this one. Next up, we have primer. Now, I did include two in this category for the reason that I stated before, because, you know, dry skin and oily skin out there. So what I'm wearing oh, and by the way, I'm wearing all of these, well, not two primers, but everything I'm wearing today is drugstore and is in this bag. So this is the Supercharged Milani Primer. This has ginseng and citrus extracts. So funny enough, some of you guys that have been with me for a while may know that vitamin C causes cystic acne with me. But for some reason, the vitamin C in here does not do that to me. And this is a very glowy, hydrating, moisturizing primer. It smells citrusy. It kind of like soothes my skin if it's irritated as soon as I put it on. It is one of my all-time OG favorites. I don't think it's that bad for oily skin either because it's not greasy, but I know some people just don't even want to hear anything hydrating. Well, you may not like that I'm recommending this for you. However, this is the Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer 12-Hour Makeup Grip. I don't find this very hydrating. I don't find it drying either, but what it is, and a lot of people already know this, but if you don't, it is a dupe, a drugstore dupe for the Milk Makeup Grip Primer, Hydro Grip Primer. So this is more of an oil, not oil, like a gel based, whereas this one over here is more of like a moisturizer. So see that? And this Hard Candy one gives that really sticky, tacky base to the skin that your makeup can really grip to and last all day. And because it's not oily, greasy, anything like that, doesn't cause like a ton of shine, I think this is perfect for dry, I keep messing up my words today. I think it's perfect for oily skin because it truly does make your makeup stick and last longer. So if you need like a matte foundation to put over it, it's really going to stay with a primer like this. Now I am also including this as a second step, and this could also be a foundation for some. This is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Liquid Filter. So I actually use two primers almost always. I use something that is moisturizing or blurring, hydrating first, and then I go in with something that has like a little bit of color to it, so it can even redness, or sometimes like if my body's tan and my face isn't, I use something that's maybe a shade darker than my skin, which is the case with this. This is the shade Medium 4. And here is what it looks like. Now, I know this was all the, it's right here, all the rage, went viral TikTok. Everybody just made a big old stink about this. And I do have a few random friends that this did not work for at all. It showed texture. It made their face just like greasy. For me, my recommendation with this, I've seen some people are extreme on TikTok and they will put like 4 pumps of that on their face, and it does have some coverage to it. So I get that maybe if that's all you're going to use and you don't have oily skin, that might work. For me, I just take it out. I use what's on the doe foot and I put it on the back of my hand, and then I really warm it up with my fingers, and I use my fingers to apply it. And when I do that, it's very smooth on my skin. I don't experience any type of texture whatsoever. So that's just a tip in case you tried it and it didn't work for you. But the two foundations that I looked through and I was like, okay, which two drugstore foundations above them all do I recommend the most? And it is these two. So first, the lighter coverage one is the Wet n Wild Tinted Hydrator. This is a holy grail for me. Not only is it beautiful on its own for light coverage, it is my holy grail mixing agent. If I mix this with any other type of foundations, it makes all of them better. If I have a foundation that is maybe not wearing well, maybe it breaks down, maybe it's kind of dry, maybe it peels a little bit, if I mix it with this, it makes it more natural, glowy, radiant, just automatically better. So love that. But if I'm recommending one that just on its own is going to give more coverage, definitely is the Perfusion Feel Good Skin. So this has SPF 15. It is a natural satin finish, hyaluronic acid in it, and medium to full coverage. That is true. I did like 2 squirts today, wasn't even thinking. And I mean, I was able to do 2 layers on the skin, and it is pretty much full coverage, and it gives such a beautiful natural glow. It is definitely, I think, the most underrated drugstore foundation out there. It is so good. My color is 3 Medium Natural. Okay, next up, I'm going in the order that I put my makeup on. So, okay, we're gonna do a cream, some sort of cream bronzer. So this is the Putty Bronzer by e.l.f. Mine is in the shade Golden Days. So I'm about, maybe about halfway, 3/4 of the way through with this one. I love this one because one, the shade is really perfect as a bronze or contour shade for me. It's slightly warm, but not too warm. It blends out beautifully. It stays put. It's not greasy. It's not oily. I just really like this one. And then, okay, I got a little bit out of order. I just realized. So in the order that I put on my makeup, so after my foundation, before I do the Putty Bronzer, I would have done the concealer. So this is the Joa Beauty Concealer. And the name is not on it because I wore it off, but it's the one that looks like this in the rectangle tube. And I tried to pick some things that not everybody talks about all the time. The e.l.f. stuff, pretty much everybody, you've already heard about all of those. But Joa Beauty is definitely a brand that some people know about, but I don't think it's near as talked about. This is such a good coverage. It is, I'd say, medium. Maybe it builds up to full, but it's still just so lightweight, blends in so nicely. It doesn't crease. This shade is actually perfect for me. It is JWC 20 medium. I mean, it is beautiful on. It even kind of has like a slight glow to it, but excellent coverage. And I just think it's extremely underrated. Next up, we have a cream blush. So again, I was like, which one in my collection is so good and isn't talked about as much? And that is the Soft Matte Cream Blush from LA Girl. Now, I really think that these are dupes for the Rare Beauty blushes. If you don't know about those, I mean, TikTok will tell you all about them. And they are good. I have 2 of them. I really love them. But one of their big, like, selling points, or that people point out, is how pigmented they are. And they definitely are. A little bit goes a long way. But same thing with this. I used about this much today. That's it. And that was enough for both cheeks. And you can see like the blushes popping on here. So it comes out like this, and it looks like it's going to be, oh my gosh, see, it just keeps keeps going. It looks like it's maybe going to have like a little bit of a glow at first, but then it does dry down matte, but not a drying matte. It's just a very natural, look at that pigment. That was from that little bitty drop. By the way, this is the shade Blissful, and I think it's so pretty. I do have a powder blush on top that I'll show you that I went very light-handed, but this by itself is also just really gorgeous. And I promise you can kind of diffuse it out where it's not like too pigmented, but it definitely has pigment. So I really highly recommend these. I have 2, and I've been meaning to pick up other shades. They're just so good. Next in the order I would go in is powder. So again, one that I've talked about before, but I don't hear anyone else talk about, is this Mora Beauty or Mora Cosmetics. I see it both ways all the time. The Lavished Pressed Finishing Powder in Banana. This is a holy grail for me. I just got this new one in because I completely emptied my last one. First of all, I think the packaging is really nice for plastic. It's like a thicker packaging and very sleek. This is the most beautiful pressed powder. I'm not always a big pressed powder person. Typically, I like a loose powder because I do have dry skin. This one is so smooth and silky. It sets the under eyes so well. It just melts into the skin. It blurs if you want it to do that. I go very light-handed because I really like a glow, but you could go heavier with this and really just perfect the skin. I need more people to try this and to love it like I do, because it is just, it's so good. And Mora, by the way, I counted this as drugstore because they do sell Mora at H-E-B, and we have an H-E-B here. I know they're across Texas. I'm not sure where else that they are, but you can order them online, and they are basically drugstore prices, but like higher in quality, or like a BH Cosmetics ColourPop quality, better than drugstore, but really inexpensive. Okay, so after that, let's do the powder bronzer. As I was looking at mine, I was like, which one is like an OG? Is this new and exciting? No, we don't always have to have the most new and exciting products. So this is the Essence Sun Club Luminous Bronzing Powder, and this is in Sunkissed, California. It says medium tone. This is just, it still has a smell. It has like a kind of a coconut summer smell. Not too bad, but I love this one. I think that it blends beautifully. I think that the color is really nice. It's one that I love to contour the nose with. It does a good job of bronzing, but not making your skin too orange. It's smooth. It's a big pan. It will last you forever. So if you're someone that doesn't buy a ton of makeup and you just want to buy something that will last you for so long, that's an excellent one to try. Then I was thinking for blush, the powder blush, I wanted to show off the Mora Ombre blushes, because I think if maybe you're not as into makeup, you might not have seen these, even though these went all over the place about 2 years ago on Instagram because of the gorgeous embossing. But these are also so pigmented, and the embossing lasts a long time as well. I've used this blush many, many, many times, and you can still see the intricate detail in it. This is Orange Blossom. I have 4 shades. I think they probably have about 8. But what I love about this is you can really try to concentrate on one part to get one color or the other, or you could swirl it together. So it's kind of like a 3-in-1. I went super light-handed just back over the blush to have something to show you guys, but definitely could use this on its own. You don't have to have a cream and a powder blush, but I just wanted to be able to show you guys more products. These, again, from Mora are online and very inexpensive, but will last you forever. Next, we have highlighters, and I love these highlighters so much. I love them. So I know not everyone loves a loose highlighter because it can be kind of messy. Oh, by the way, these are the Wet n Wild Mega Glow highlighters in Hustle and Glow, and I'm So Lit. But I also have the pink one, which is gorgeous. This one is a more golden. This one is a more champagne color. And I know one of my friends forever ago, Sandra D, if you're watching, I still remember you saying this, and this was probably like 2 years ago. I remember her saying she didn't like it because she thought it showed texture. But my suggestion, this is how I've always used it. I don't take from here. I take from this cap. A little bit goes a long way with this as well. I don't have a brush right here to show you, but I'm just gonna, so I wouldn't really use this as my highlighter brush. I've been back on a fan highlighter brush. But what I do is I take the brush and I really press it and do this with it and then tap off. And it kind of crushes it down when you do that and makes it a little bit more fine. I guess you could use this as your nose highlight brush. But it has the most beautiful glow. I mean, if I ever want to just, like, man, I want to glow, but I don't want to look like a disco ball. I don't want chunks of glitter, but like, I just want someone to see my glow across the room. It's these. I think they're so good, and they last a lifetime as well. All right, so then for setting sprays, I've got one for dry skin, one for oily skin. So this is a holy grail of mine. Talked about it a million times, gone through so many of these bottles. The Shake and Glow Lumi L'Oreal spray. I mean, if you want to glow, if you want hydrated skin, and you want drugstore, don't get any other one but this one. It smells amazing. It sprays perfectly. It is a light, fine, evenly sprayed mister, whereas some of them like just squirt at you like in one line, or it doesn't come out at all. That one is perfect. I love it so much. If you have dry skin, that's your new best friend. Now, this I've been loving as well. This is Pacifica Satin Protect. This is a matte sheer setting mist, and it also has SPF 45. And then it also has vitamin C algae extracts. Again, this is a vitamin C product that does not break me out. Maybe I can use vitamin C and things like this, just not a concentrated like serum. Maybe that's it. But this has such a fine veil that goes over that you can almost feel the matteness happen. Like it's, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it has that very like sea algae sort of smell to it, which I like. Maybe not everyone else would like, but it protects. So it's got SPF 45, and it does make your makeup stay. So if you're an oily skin girl, if you sweat a lot, even if you're not going to be out in the sun, I would highly recommend this. So what are we moving on to next? Okay, let's move on then to eyebrows. So my true OG eyebrow is the Lottie London skinny one, but you can only get it online ever. It's never in like a Walmart that I've seen anyway. If it is, recommend it, go buy it. That's actually my #1. But I'm out of mine and I need to reorder online. So I'm gonna show you guys the Mora 1.5mm Precision Brow Pencil. Mine is in the shade Espresso. So I really do like this one. It's also, I think it's only like $6 or something like that. I am just a micro brow pencil kind of girl. That's all that I use. I don't like pomades. I don't like the pens. I like a really skinny pencil. I really like the color of this. I think it's very natural and it's very inexpensive. And if you see this, like if you do carry it in your grocery store, I recommend it. If not, you can buy it online. Then for liners, and remind you, I'm wearing all of this stuff really today. So I went ahead and picked out, okay, I've got a million liners, a million colored liners. I like multi-chrome liners in all colors, but truly you really only need a black and a brown. So I picked out the Milani Stay Put liners. I also have these in their colors, like a silver and a gold, a green, a maroon. These are so good. They're so opaque. I'm wearing the brown one today. It's called Semi Sweet. After Dark is the black one. These are opaque. They stay put, like they say, like the name says. So would recommend those as your gel liner. And then for winged liner, I do have the brown on today, but they do have this in black, and it's the Epic Ink Liner from NYX. Now I count this as drugstore definitely, because used to it was really only in Ulta, but now you can find NYX anywhere pretty much. So this I like because it does stay put, it doesn't run, and it is pretty opaque in the black. The brown, not as much actually. It's a lot lighter, but it works. So definitely the black one of this is really, really good. Now for the mascara, I picked out the Lash Princess by Essence. Now I love the purple one, which is a curved wand or bristles. This one is the straight. And this is honestly always the one I go back to. It gives me the longest lashes. I've found a couple recently that I like that are higher end. But honestly, every time I go back to this, I'm like, this is just as good. And it's so inexpensive. So I love, love, love the Lash Princess. Then for, let's see, eye primer. So if you're gonna do eyeshadow, I was looking through my primers and I don't really like drugstore eye primers. What I do find works well, this is the Pacifica Dreamlit Glow Concealer. They had sent over their whole line of these, and one was about my right shade for concealer. The rest I use for other things. Like this is too light. It is great as an eye primer. So definitely I would recommend just using a good concealer as your eye primer for your eyeshadows, especially if, you know, you're just a regular person and doesn't do a lot of makeup stuff. That's gonna work really, really well. So for my eyeshadow palette, I was like, what drugstore eyeshadow palette do I recommend? If I had to recommend one, it was hard because I love Profusion. I love their tin pans. I talk about them all the time, but it's more of a curated color story. So I looked through my collection, and the one that I think encompasses the most as far as color story, neutrals, colors, warm, cool, is this Pacifica Animal Magic. Yeah, Animal Magic palette. So these perform really well. I have it on my eyes today. Some formulas in here I like more than others. I really, really love, this is the pink sparkly that I have on right here. It's kind of that marbled shade, but it's super sparkly and beautiful. I also really love this dragon shade here. It's not quite as shiny. This is more of, I have on Otter today. They're more of like a satin shimmer. These are gorgeous. And then the mattes build up really nicely and blend really easy. This is a very user-friendly, easy palette to use. And so I think this really appeases most people. It's not too out there in color. You don't, if you want neons and stuff like that, you're not gonna get that in this palette. But I'm pretty sure people that are curious about building their like drugstore makeup bag wouldn't be looking for that. They would look for more like something like this. You could get so much use out of this palette. Then for, you know, if you do decide you want to do eyelashes, holy grail, you need this, especially if you're a novice. This will save you so much time and grief. And I wish that they had this when I first started wearing false lashes. It's the Kiss Lash Liner. It is a black eyeliner that also works as an adhesive for your lashes. So you just apply it. I always recommend going over it twice. Then you just set your eyelashes on it, and then I actually use it to kind of like dab on top of the lash band to secure it. And then I take it with me wherever I go in case I need to do like a touch up of a pop in the corner. You need this in your makeup bag for sure. And then the lashes I picked out to show you guys today, because it's not a well-known brand, is Luna Magic, and specifically in Bella. These are the prettiest lashes. You can find them at Walmart, at Target, some CVS, and also on their site. And I think for two, it's about $7, and they last about 7 to 8 wears. So highly recommend these. Lastly, for lips, this was hard because, man, I have some favorite drugstore lippies, but I went with something nude. This really goes with everything. So this is the Milani Lip Understatement Liner in Saucy Toffee. This is just a perfect, true, medium toned, neutral brown, which everybody needs in their makeup bag. It goes with everything. I actually pair brown liner with pink, with red, with purple, and then of course my nudes. So then the lipstick I chose, this was also hard because I almost chose another Milani, the Color Fetish lipsticks, because I love them, but these new O-Face lipsticks from e.l.f. are magic. I love them. They are so comfortable. They glide on. They have beautiful shades. This is No Doubt. So this is a lighter nude. It's slightly like a lighter warm nude, but it's beautiful. And I love that it has this magnetic closure. Definitely an everyday color. And then for gloss, the Maybelline Lifter glosses. I mean, everybody pretty much loves these because they're not sticky. The packaging's beautiful. I really love this shade Crystal because it's like a bronze, kind of sparkly, and really makes the lips shine. You could wear this over really any shade, and I think it would work. So that's why I picked out this lipstick or lip gloss. But that is it, you guys. That is, if I had to tell you all of the drugstore makeup to build your makeup bag, these are my recommendations. Let me know if you agree with these. Let me know if you might pick up some of these now. And as always, have fun shopping, budget shopping.